Don't forget, in Canberra we do this at 8 a.m.
I'm going to introduce you now to Brian and Jess, who are beyond good Samaritans. I call them angels. Now, Brian and Jess, in July, they're going to be running 7 marathons, 7 days. Now, it's a great advocate of people helping people less fortunate than ourselves.
Jesus, I thought Brian was hard to keep up with.
Okay, so today we have Jess Peil from Canberra. Now Jess is renowned because this will be your 7th year.
Yes.
For the Bravehearts 777. And okay, I suppose the very first question, why keep coming back? Why keep coming back 7 years in a row to put yourself through?
I think I love what we do. I love what Bravehearts stands for. I love that we can help people. I think community as well. I think the community within our small, crazy group of people just keeps me coming back. I love it.
Yeah. But the very first year, what got you involved with the very first year? But 100%.
So I met this woman called Jane in Canberra. We were doing a trail run, and she said, I'm just here to training run, like some half marathon out through the bush and whatever. And she's like, I'm doing this thing that's called 777 marathon and stuff. And I went, piqued my interest, thinking, what a cool challenge. That'd be awesome. And then that same week, my husband had been up at Sydney for, because we're from Canberra, had been up in the office, and our solicitor at the time, our head of legal up there, had been talking to people and had been talking to the guys at Bravehearts. So my hubby comes back and he said, yeah, Jordan was saying about this thing. It's called Bravehearts something, something, something. And I went, what, 777? He goes, what the heck? You know this thing? And I said, do you want to run it? And so that was my first foray into it.
From year 1 to now year 7, how have you seen the whole thing evolve with the fundraising and obviously with numbers of people? Have you, because you've obviously seen it each year.
Yeah, true. I'm finding now, and I know it's obviously to do with landscape, etc. as well, like what's happening in Australia and financials and all that sort of stuff. It is harder. It's harder to get people to involved by giving you money. I think you have to change the way that you ask for it a lot of the time now. You can't just go out all the time and say, hey, sponsor me, hey, can I get this? You have to have something that gives something back to the person as well, which I think is really important. That gives them a bit, I guess it gives them a bit more of a buy-in.
and I think you've seen the numbers. First year, how many were involved?
Oh gosh, first year was 25, 27. I'm still really good friends with a lot of the people in that first year. And then obviously second year was COVID year.
Yep.
So I did it all at home instead.
Yep.
And that year, I still got over 25,000 that year. So it was, people were still into it. People were still wanting to support. The next year was the Queensland round.
Oh, yes.
That was a mess. It was great, don't get me wrong, and Jess did such a good job with having to, we can't go there, so we have to stay here, and we can't go, we need to do this, and bags going missing, and all, just so many hiccups that happened along the way, but it was really, again, it was really great. It was still, it's still such a cool experience, and then back to traditional after that. It's cool. So this year's what, 35? Yeah.
But the beautiful thing about the whole thing is, I remember this is our third year with
Yeah,
Mark.
that's right.
I think the first 3 years ago, we were all up. It was raised about 400,000, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And then last year was 700,000. And I know obviously you've had a major part of that, but still 400 to 700,000.
Yeah, it's
so
a big jump.
Yeah, and $1 million, it's just sitting there waiting for us.
It's
to
just
touch.
there.
It'll happen.
Just there. It'll happen.
Yeah.
We're the conversation starter. That's it.
Yes.
That's it. We've got we do have. I know a lot of people think that we have the hard job. The crew have the hard job.
Yes.
But we're just a starting point for people to go for the awareness and stuff. Yeah, it's
In
important.
some of the areas, just to help some of the others out there in raising funds and even the awareness, is there something different that you have done this year that's spread out there?
Every year I do I do a clothing sale.
Yep.
So I've done that from the day dot, and it's so much fun. Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. So I do like focus on women's clothes because
Yep. Yes,
I like clothes.
Yes.
And I get friends of friends, people in the community, whoever, to donate what they can. If it's stuff that they're going to send off to Vinnie's, then they donate it to me instead. And my house is the halfway house to Vinnie's, basically. And then I just do one big massive sale day, and it's just a blast. And so many people get involved with it, and they come from different, all different walks of life. Neighbours come in, people from down the road, all over the place. Run group, everything, and it's just really fun. And that raises a good amount of money, but it also, again, it raises awareness. And you're in year 3.
So now into year 3.
Yeah.
So the 7 marathons, that just built more camaraderie with the other people that were involved. Yeah. It wasn't just Mark and I, it was obviously you and the other 20 people.
All the other crazy people.
Yeah, raising the money. And in the end, it was 400,000 or something that was raised. So then you've left something. Then you say, hey, I've been part of something that's really worthwhile.
Yeah.
And obviously the second year doing the same thing. I can't get out there enough to spread the awareness. I just want to keep doing it every day because it's so important.
It's pretty cool because you do have those conversations and stuff, and you do have people turn around and say to you, I can't do that. Or, they have doubts in their own self-doubts and stuff like that, but you just need to, everyone's got their starting point, and you just build on it, just 10% a week, just add on to that.
Jess, when you said before, people say to you, I can't do that.
Yes.
What do you tell them?
Yes, you can. I think people have about 10% that they can still give all the time, as in for a run or whatever and stuff. So I think people have to put their self-doubt aside and go, you know what? If it's something that they like to do, if they want to walk it. It's no different. You're moving and you're still making a difference. You're still putting yourself out there and stuff. But I think, if you can walk, you can jog. If you can jog, you can run. If you can run, you can sprint, except if you're me, because I don't like sprinting. But you can build it up to that. And it's not going to be, you're not going to sit there on Monday and then run, be running 1K on a Monday and stuff, and then running a full marathon on the weekend. But it's just that slow progression, and you have to accept every stage along the way and absorb it, enjoy it for what it is, because it's movement is cool, and movement is I always say, movement is medicine as well. And I think once you get beyond that little, beyond that first hurdle, you can see your next, you can see your next goalpost, and so you want to go for that.
So I'm fascinated by your run resilience, because tell us more about that and what brings people
for sure.
to that.
We do it's in Canberra. Running for Resilience was created we want to try and make Canberra suicide free by 2033. And it was born because a friend of mine, his father committed suicide quite a while ago now, and then his mum passed away from cancer, and he could feel himself going down the spiral and stuff, and he went, I need to do something. So Ben Alexander, who's who played for the Brumbies, he's played for Australia like quite a few. You know what? I can't even say how many times he's played because I don't want to mess it up. But he had started doing parkrun and had said that had helped him at the end of his football career. And so Matt Breeny got in contact with him and said, "Can we start a run from your pub? He's got a great pub." And he said, "Yeah, let's do it." So they started on a Wednesday night, went for a little run together. It was about, I think at the time it was about 6K. And there's about 10 of them. We got back and they went, "Yeah, that was fun. Let's do it again." So they went and it started every Wednesday. They would meet up, and then COVID kicked in and it's sort of, went on a hiatus for a little bit, came back. That thing has grown exponentially. It's out of this world. So it's what started off with 10 people. We now have our peak has been about 620 people. On a Wednesday night, they all meet down there. We get up, we talk about why we're doing this, and we say how movement is medicine, and we like that, it's such a safe space. You run with a friend. Conversation flows from me anyway, conversation is easier and stuff. It's and then you get back to the dock at the end of it, and they have beer, which we're sponsored by Traveller, or wine or soft drink or whatever, and we converse. And suicide in Canberra has now dropped by, I think it's like 44%. We like to think that we've had quite a bit to do with that. And again, it comes down to community. And I think that's what...
Community and awareness.
Community, awareness, movement.
Yep.
It's just growing. And that's what, like, in particular, like my husband and I, Rich and I, we wanted to see this thing grow. Because his best mate committed suicide when he was growing up, and it was completely out of the blue. He lived with him and he didn't know that there was an issue. So it's really passionate, like a real passion for him. And I think Bravehearts is really connected into that. Are You OK is really connected into that. There's another one in Canberra called Men's Link, and that's also really connected into that. That's keeping young boys on the straight path. And it's such a great hub.
I think out of all that, no matter whether it's for the kids or for the adults who are doing it, the main message out of all that is that people are now getting the encouragement to actually speak up. 100%.
Yeah. For men, it's harder to talk.
Yep.
So I think having those groups are amazing. Like, that's even that, or the like men's sheds and all that sort of stuff.
Well, it took me
It's
63
really cool.
years to speak up.
Exactly.
And for me, it was only something small that happened, probably 3 times.
Yeah.
But nothing was said, and it just something clicked with the girls at Bravehearts, and I said, "Hey, it's time for me
It's time to talk.
to talk."
Yeah.
When you get this purpose, it sort of, for me, overcomes this, I can't physically do that, because all of a sudden you're moving and you've got all the movement is medicine, absolutely, and all of a sudden you find, hey, I'm now in this community of people.
Yeah. I think it, like you're saying, the conversation and stuff like that, it does, it takes the kilometres away as well before you know it, and you'd find it too,
100%.
that you run along, like if it's a half marathon or whatever, the more conversations you have along the way, you're like, oh, hey, what? I'm a 10K.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on, what?
I run for
16.
an hour. Yeah.
And you don't even notice it. You don't even notice that it just takes it all away. But when you got that purpose behind it, and like, even though, again, obviously we're doing the marathon every day, or running for resilience, we're doing the 7K or the 5K or whatever, there's still that purpose that's behind it. It still pushes you along.
Yeah.
Like even last night I was doing I'm so tired, I really can't do this, and went, you know what? Just go. And went and did just the 5K bridge to bridge in Canberra with a friend and our disco dogs. And but how good do you feel after?
To people who are watching people do incredible things, you see someone, whether it's, you see some of the people who are running around Australia, or see you guys doing 777, or you see doing the marathon, and they've just got that doubt. What's your final message for them? What do you say to those people who are wondering? They got that, I want to do this, but just not sure.
Oh, they've got that little devil on
they
their
got that little
saying,
devil on.
you can't.
They got that little devil sitting there saying you can't. What's your message to?
Get the little devil off. Make it happen. My thing is always, if you if there's something that you really enjoy doing, just grab it and go for it, because you don't know how far you can go until you start.
Hi, I'm Brooke and I'm doing the 777